If you watched my last video discussing the differences between mouse and keyboard and controller for Naraka, you briefly heard me talk about this thing and how that's actually what I've settled on playing with. It's definitely not a controller, and not exactly a keyboard either. I think something like this is usually referred to as a keypad. This one specifically though is a Razer Tartarus V2. The main difference between this and a typical keyboard is that it has a thumbstick. Like I said in my last video, the main thing I was struggling to get used to with a mouse and keyboard was coordinating WASD movement with the many actions in Naraka that force you to take your fingers off of those keys. Super experienced keyboard players don't really have a problem with this, I don't think, and clearly it doesn't hold back a lot of the top players that consistently destroy me no matter what I'm playing on, but if you're a controller player that's trying to switch to mouse and keyboard, this might be much easier to get used to, while also potentially being the best hardware for Naraka. If you don't quite see how playing with the keypad works yet, let me explain. Similar to a controller, you have a thumbstick, which means your thumb covers all movement directions and is essentially doing the job of 3 fingers. With WASD out of the picture, that frees up the entire keypad and the rest of your fingers to input anything you want. The options are basically endless when it comes to binds. You can just create a totally custom layout that caters to all of your preferences. I went through a couple iterations, but I'm now at a point that I'm really comfortable with my layout. I'll play a gameplay montage later in the video with exclusively keypad being used in all of the clips, and I'm proud of the editing, so I really do appreciate everyone that watches to the end. As far as my specific binds though, the keys marked with grip tape I kind of refer to as the home row in my head. These are the keys that I use the most, so this is the hand position that I always return to. I exclusively use quick parry as opposed to the composite buttons, so it's bound right here to a button that my pinky basically never leaves. Dodge is bound here, crouch next, and jump is right here with my index finger. These are the actions that I use most often, so I definitely wanted them to be in the most comfortable spots. But everything else is super quickly accessible too, basically in a comfort priority list of how often I use them. Map is to the left of parry, inventory is just below dodge, grapple is above crouch, skill is below, ultimate is above jump, and my heals are down here out of the way. The one thing that I do take my thumb off of movement for is the repair button, which is something that I never use in combat anyways, so it doesn't really matter to me. That's everything for the keypad. Other actions like interact, swap weapon, and sheath are bound to my mouse buttons. Gameplay montage coming up in just a moment. Real quick though, I just want to say that as nice as this is, to be good at Naraka, you don't need this. What I've learned from trying out all these different ways to play is that it really doesn't matter in the end, as long as you're comfortable with what you're using and are willing to practice. I just got this out of curiosity basically. After practicing a good bit with both MKB and controller, I found myself theorizing about what a best of both worlds piece of hardware might look like, and I really missed my thumbstick movement, so I figured I'd get one of these and try it out. It does happen to be my favorite, and it could be yours too, but there's no guarantee. I'll mention a couple more things about it after the montage, but for now, enjoy some gameplay.
I'd be a downer if you'd let me. You'd hear from friends I lost my mind. I'd go let everyone forget me. I'd be content and stay inside. I'd close the text that people send me. I'd dim the lights and shut my blinds. But every second that we're spending, it makes me think I'll be alright. I feel fine. You help erase that part of me so I can see that life is better on this side. And I realize that I know stay here where it's clear and not alone here chasing smoke and mirrors disappear. You pull me out of this wasteland. I'll do my best to go unnoticed. You'd wonder where I've gone to hide. I'd be content with feeling hopeless and wouldn't have a reason why. Some excuse up like I'm tired, but it feels better when you're closer. It makes me think I'll be alright. I feel fine. You help erase that part of me so I can see that life is better on this side. And I realize that I know I wanna stay here where it's clear and not alone here chasing smoke. Disappear. You pull me out of this wasteland. I'm alright. I used to lay you only half away. Yeah, I remember when the colors faded. I used to lay you and my heart would ache, but I would stay here hoping you could make it. I used to lay you only half away. Yeah, I remember it was always raining. I used to lay inside the mess I made. You pulled me out and made me realize that I know I wanna stay here where it's clear, and I'm only here chasing smoke and mirrors. They disappear. You pull me out of this wasteland. I'm alright, I'll be fine anytime, 'cause with you I can finally say that I know I wanna stay here where it's clear. No more smoke and mirrors. I'm alright, I'll be fine anytime, 'cause with you I can finally say that I know I wanna stay here where it's clear. No more smoke and mirrors.
문제 없다고 했잖아.
Okay, before I end the video, I just want to note a couple more things and point out some downsides to the keypad that don't make it a perfect best of both worlds. First of all, you don't have true analog stick movement, since the thumbstick is technically a D-pad, with each of the 4 directions being bound to W, A, S, and D. You still have your diagonals, of course, just by pushing the stick in that direction, but it would be great if it was omnidirectional. Also, within the game settings, this is recognized just like a mouse and keyboard is, so you don't have access to the attack from stick direction setting like a controller does. By far the main benefit of a keypad is to be able to maintain full access to your movement while also having extremely easy access to every one of your binds at all times, and of course you still get to aim and navigate menus with your mouse. This is a bit of a novelty, but something I love about it. You can bind the keypad keys to whatever you want on your keyboard, so this little row of binds down here can spell whatever you want it to. With that though, that's all I've got for today. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.